Hello Vapors, this is Tyler from Cloud Chaser Productions, and today I'm going to be comparing two mods again, this time without my friend Dallas. Sadly, he's sick right now with the flu, so he's not really allowed to go anywhere or do anything because he's pretty messed up right now. Regardless though, I'm sure he'll be watching. Give me a like he should be. Anyways, make sure everybody likes up and tell your friends because there's an Ipv3 on the line for you guys. Make sure you get in there and like that because it's coming for free, as well as the Aspire Atlantis tank. That's coming with it. And we're going to clean it up and take care of it for you, and then we'll mail it right out to you. It comes in the box and everything, so check it out. Make sure you like my page, Cloud Chaser Productions, and my YouTube channel, Cloud Chaser Productions also. Now today, I do have the Ipv3, and I just got in the mail yesterday the Sigelei 150 watt. Now, a lot of people are kind of confused. They ask what the difference is, besides the name and the kind of design style of it. As you can see, this one's got a little bit more rounded edges. Well, this one's more of a boxy shape. Besides that, there's a couple of key differences, and that really kind of swayed me back and forth. I was a little biased in the beginning, though. I did start with a Sigelei 100 watt, so I obviously chose a Sigelei over it again. I'm very satisfied with their product. But besides that, here's some of the key factors. First of all, there's screws in the back of the Ipv5. Okay, so first, there's not even a charger in the back. Some of them come with these handy dandy little chargers. Well, mine didn't come with that little charge slot, so it requires that I use their friggin' hexagonal shaped screwdriver to unscrew their hexagonal screws to get my two 18650 batteries out of the back to charge them. Okay, that's just too much hassle. I mean, it's just simply, there's way too much bullshit that goes on with that. I'm not even really down for that. So, I mean, it would be different if it was a Phillips head, but now I have to carry around your stupid freaking hexagonal screwdriver. Okay, which is just outrageous. Okay. Unlike that, the Sigelei has a magnetic back. They've had them since the 100 watts. Even though the 100 watt had screws in them too, just in case, this one has 4 magnets on them. Pretty powerful ones too. So you can just pop it off anytime you want. Easy access, everything. Also, the buttons. If you look at the buttons, there's 3 silver looking buttons on the front. They're small, they're hard to push on, and they hurt your fingers after a long period of time, which is kind of a pain also. Now, to combat that on their behalf, I'm going to say that they did try and make it better by putting a touch sensor on the top. The idea was that your fingers weren't going to be happy with it, which they knew. I don't know why. I guess Sigelei kind of copyrighted their buttons. So they put this touch sensor up here. Now, they were the forefront in this. You know, nobody else has really tried it up until recently. The only problem they were having is that people were pushing it, breathing in, and hot juice was falling out all over their, or out of their RDA, all over their button, and it was sensing that and seeing that it was a finger when it really wasn't, and causing more hot juice to spill everywhere because it was auto-firing. Now, they're still trying to figure out why or how to fix that problem, and it's just, they're still in the process of it. And on my particular one, they completely disconnected it. It's not even connected to the touch sensor. There's no wiring. You can wire it yourself if you're tech savvy enough and you know what you're doing, but I don't, so I'm not going to mess with that. But on the upside, they did come out with some really neat stuff for it. Now, obviously everybody knows these are kind of like little, they got little computers in there to test the wattage and all that nonsense, but the Ipv3 is able to be plugged into your computer to update software, and yes, it has software like a computer. Now, instead of it going to 150 watts, it goes up to 165 watts. It also goes, it used to only go to 0.15 ohms. Now it goes down to 0.08 ohms, and it gives you a much more detailed reading of ohms, which is extremely nice. Now it can go down a lot lower for those who are being much more adventurous with their builds and not having to worry so much about how many wraps you throw in there because you know it's going to be able to hit it anyways. So good for a pioneer for you for making an Ipv3 that can go that low and make it stable. I applaud that. That's impressive. The Sigelei does not go down that far right now. Mine's running at a 0.2 ohms, and that's running a stovetop coil at the very top. I'll show you that real quick. Saber-tooth tiger wire, it's 20 gauge. It's pretty beefy. Now, as you guys can tell, I'm still using the Ipv3. I can hit it pretty hard. The only difference, they both have different chips. You cannot update the software on this as far as I can tell. They don't make it easily accessible. But As far as I can tell from the chip that's in my Sigelei, it seems to heat up my 20 gauge wire a little bit faster than the Ipv3 did, which is interesting, seeing as how the Ipv3 was running at a higher watt. I had it running at 100 watts on the Ipv3, and I'm only running it at 89 watts right now. And it seems to be hitting just as hard, if not harder, than the Ipv3. So I personally prefer the Sigelei over the Ipv3, but that's just because I'm a lazy son of a bitch. So it really just depends on what your preference is and what you're really willing to put up with. There's a kit out there right now that I haven't bought, maybe I'll buy it before I send it out to whoever wins the Ipv3, and I'll put it on there for you. But there's magnets that you can put, you have to drill some holes and put them in here, and it basically takes over the screws. So all you have to do is just pop it off and pop it on, very similar to that of the Sigelei. So that would be a really nice little thing to throw in there. So maybe I'll go out there and I'll buy one and put it in here for you. A couple more things I want to put out there real quick. I think a lot of people are kind of confused about what vaping is now. While there is a vaping that's kind of consistent with, it uses marijuana, this is not the same kind of vaping. I use e-cigarette juice with no nicotine in it. I recently quit smoking about 22 days ago, and I was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. So vaping really helps me. And another question that I got the other day from somebody that obviously didn't really know much about what they were talking about was that apparently vaping is extremely bad for you and toxic. And let me just put this out here for you guys that are really confused about that. Somehow it's bad for you to breathe in water vapor that comes in a bottle with a little bit of flavoring in it, but it's okay for you to go sit in a sauna where you've got 3 times the water vapor in the air and breathe that in. So for those of you out there who are really having issues wondering if this is good or bad for you, I've looked up several studies on the internet and have yet to find any that say anything really bad about it. In fact, everybody's saying this is like the miracle cure for smokers. So as I said, 22 days, I'm not even using nicotine, and I don't even want a cigarette. I just vape all day. So if you're trying to quit smoking, I definitely suggest to check it out. I got a couple of vapes on my page, like the Hammer or the Smog. So check that out. Those are really good. They're fairly cheap, though. A lot of the mods that are coming out there nowadays, they're getting cheaper and cheaper and more power. So I would definitely get out there and check those out. Just keep adventuring. And if you guys want any specific or any answers or anything on a specific mod, you just post it on my page or on my YouTube channel. I check both regularly, more than once a day. And I'll keep it updated and I'll answer. And if I can't find it out, I have several other people in the Cloud Chaser Productions group that's going to definitely answer for you. I have a friend named Jason. He's going to be the next one to post a video, I believe. He's got a unicorn box mod. And for those of you who don't know what that is, up until recently, the unicorn's been like the Ferrari of vape pens. It's very expensive, and each one is handcrafted. They're very nice. They're also extremely expensive. They're up to like $300, and that's after they've been out for a couple months, and they're still about $300. So they're nice, and he'll be showing you that. As well as my friend Dan, he's also got a vape, the Sigelei 100 watt with a Smock Caterpillar RDA on the top. He's going to be showing that off, and possibly Dallas with his Vulcan tip and his God 180. Now that's basically the crew. We'll be giving you guys updates on videos and stuff, and as I said earlier, make sure you guys like for the Ipv3. Make sure you share this page with all your friends and family. This is good for everybody, especially for smokers who are looking to quit smoking. This is definitely good. Before I go, I'm going to show you guys what my next project is going to be. As you can see, this is my Sigelei 150 watt, but what me and my friend is planning to do, he works with me, he happens to be a machinist. He's going to be taking my box and rebuilding it out of copper. So it's going to be a solid copper carved Sigelei 150 watt box. We're going to drill the holes, and I'm going to take all the electronics out and slap it on there, and that's going to be, as far as I can tell, the first copper box mod that happens to be made for the Sigelei type. Now, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it goes well. I'll keep you guys posted on that. And if you guys want to check out some really good juice, I would go online and check out Elevation Elixirs. It's made here in Colorado, 5280. So check that out. That's really good. I'm using one called Berry Fluff, which sounds kind of fruity, but it tastes like blueberries, so I like it. And also, there's one more I want you guys to check out while you're out there. If you're looking for something really nice and tasty to vape on, check out Serial Killa, Killa, made by 9 South Vapes. It tastes exactly like Fruit Loops. It's probably the best one I've ever had. But make sure you guys check that out. And again, if you have any questions or comments, post it in the page. And there'll be some more videos coming out by my other friends that are going to be helping me with this page. And as always, live long and vape on.